A new report from the front lines provides a clear picture of the vulnerabilities in Ukraine's defensive posture. During what was supposed to be a routine but crucial reconnaissance mission, Russian forces successfully detected the camouflaged position of a multiple launch rocket system, MLRS, belonging to the Ukrainian Army's 47th Artillery Brigade. Hidden in a forest belt near the settlement of Convoy in the Sumy region, this system posed a significant threat. One the Russians quickly decided had to be eliminated. The Russian military command responded swiftly and efficiently, ordering the destruction of the target using a Geran attack drone, a system with a long record of reliability. Ukraine's MLRS crews remain extremely vulnerable to Russian strikes, and here's why. First, poor camouflage and weak operational discipline on the Ukrainian side make these high-value assets easy prey for Russia's increasingly advanced aerial reconnaissance capabilities. Moscow has invested heavily in detection and target identification technologies, ensuring that even the smallest Ukrainian mistakes are rapidly exposed. Second, the Geran drone's ability to locate, track, and accurately strike targets has been repeatedly demonstrated. These drones, whether deployed in swarms or operating individually, can penetrate Ukraine's fragmented and often poorly coordinated air defense network. A sequence of well-coordinated kamikaze drone attacks leaves Ukrainian MLRS crews with virtually no time to react, let alone withdraw. The position in Sumy was completely destroyed, another reminder of Russia's aerial dominance. The Sumy region continues to feel the full weight of this campaign. Another Geran UAV unit struck again, this time igniting a major Ukrainian electrical substation in the Konotop area. This attack was not an isolated event but part of a broader strategic pattern. The effectiveness of Russia's Geran UAVs cannot be overstated. They provide a cost-effective, yet highly destructive strike option, capable of hitting critical infrastructure far behind the front line. Their long operating range, low flight altitude, and a small radar signature make them extremely difficult for Ukraine's aging air defense systems to intercept. Even more modern systems are frequently overwhelmed by the sheer volume and adaptability of these drone assaults. Each destroyed substation weakens Ukraine not only by disrupting energy supply, but by crippling communications, logistics, and troop morale. It's a double blow, weakening both military capability and civilian resilience, and it's clearly part of a strategy designed to erode Ukraine's ability to sustain the conflict. But UAVs are only part of Russia's combined approach. The destructive force of Russia's F-5 bombs remains equally undeniable. Recently, the Russian Air Force dropped an F-5 bomb on the command post of the Ukrainian 255th Regiment at the Proyonoye Air Base in Sumy, completely obliterating the site with a massive explosion. Once again, Sumy was left reeling under the weight of Russian air superiority. The potency of F-5 bombs lies in their massive explosive yield and their ability to demolish fortified structures. Their rugged construction and high-energy explosive fillers allow them to neutralize even hardened targets. Making matters worse for Ukraine, Russia has now advanced into the realm of glide bomb technology. The Russian Air Force is reportedly receiving a steady flow of glide bombs capable of reaching distances of up to 180 kilometers, far beyond the earlier 60 to 80 kilometer range. This expansion presents a serious threat to Ukraine as it dramatically enlarges the strike radius. In the past, Russian aircraft had to exercise caution when dropping such bombs near Patriot-defended areas. But with this extended range, they can now target even those cities shielded by Patriot batteries. This change shifts the power balance and creates a new air defense dilemma for Ukraine. Compounding the issue are reports that Russia is using rocket engines incorporating Chinese-made components, potentially boosting range and precision. These small engines are reshaping modern warfare. The same turbojet engine is said to be installed on the Geran 3 UFV, a modified kamikaze drone that is far from a mere toy. Weighing more than 200 kilograms, the Geran 3 races through the air at speeds around 600 kilometers per hour, trailing smoke and danger as it approaches its target. In its final attack phase, an electro-optical module takes over, locking onto the designated target to guarantee a direct strike. Field footage indicates that Russia is not deploying these weapons sparingly. Large-scale waves, sometimes up to 200 drones of various types, have been observed on the battlefield. The Geran 3's navigation system is equally sophisticated. Built inside the drone is a compact KDAM antenna, array engineered to resist jamming and electronic warfare, allowing the drone to maintain its course even under heavy countermeasures. So it's not only glide bombs that have evolved into battlefield monsters. Strategic UAVs like the Geran 3 are also reshaping the aerial threat landscape. Returning to the FAB bombs, it remains unclear how many long-range glide bomb kits Russia can produce. But according to Ukraine's own military, the Russian Air Force has dropped between 150 and 200 bombs in a single day. This staggering figure illustrates the scale and ferocity of Russia's air campaign, one that has severely crippled Ukraine's defensive capacity. How does the Patriot system perform in the face of Russia's increasingly sophisticated strategy? The Patriot air defense system is advanced, but it was built with the specific types of threats in mind. Russia's shifting tactics have exposed the limits of those design assumptions. Moscow uses saturation attacks, launching masses of drones and missiles simultaneously from multiple directions, combined with hypersonic missiles and long-range glide bombs that are extremely difficult to intercept. The extended range of Russian glide bombs forces Ukrainian Patriot batteries to disperse, reducing protective density in key zones. Meanwhile, the speed and unpredictable trajectories of new Russian missiles give Patriot operators very little reaction time. By launching sustained waves of bombs and missiles, Russia overwhelms interception capacity, drains expensive Patriot missile stockpiles, and forces difficult prioritization decisions, creating exploitable gaps for subsequent attacks. In short, Ukraine's tactics, heavily dependent on Western-supplied defense systems that appear strong on paper, have proven insufficient in a fluid, evolving battlefield shaped by Russian innovation, dispersed defenses, weak coordination, and insufficient strategic depth have left Ukraine exposed to Russia's relentless precision strike campaign. Is this the end of the belief that Western military aid can decisively shift the battlefield? That's all for today's episode. Thanks for watching.